WGS fans doing their best to match. Get ready to dive into the action here.
Alright, well, it's going to be a Pharah versus the McCree and Hanzo, so a little bit of alteration here for WGS trying to counter the Pharah couple, also having tank burst. They're still going to be running the Zarya, and as I predicted earlier, Suminsu is going to be splicing to the Zarya, so perhaps he's performing in scrims better on the Zarya right now over Janu, and on the Zarya specific map they need him.
Already good pick off there. Last row going to find a kill in on a Slime, so no res is available. You can see Bumper dangerously low on that Reinhardt, so they'll have to kite back. Likely surrender this first cap over to WGS. Oxal still raining down some rockets, but WGS will go ahead. This initial take.
There's a lot more burst damage on the side of WGS H2 with this lineup, with the lack of Pharah, but they don't have the same amount of mobility. It won't matter though if they can keep winning the tank war here on the point. Z-Bag's getting shot from above.
Yeah, Oxal gets in right over top of him. Gotta give that shield up. Rocket goes straight on past it. They find 3 kills, and that's going to be a very fast flip here from the side of RunAway. Only 18% accrued. Oxal getting a nice little final kill. It takes him down.
This just mirrors the strategy talk we were talking about earlier, where you've got the right composition to take down the Pharah, bring the Hanzo in with it, because you want to have some extra damage on tanks to control the point you take first with your surprise composition. But if you can't hit the shots on the Pharah, she gets in, Oxal's able to get behind Z-Bag and finish him off in plain line of sight. Still, they couldn't bring him down, so it's just the mechanical lacking here for WGS, despite the good strategy.
Last row finds another pickoff. LeBron's now going to come down. Oxal taking out 2, and no one answering a kill in onto him. He's going to be completely fine the entire time there. Follows up with a hit in onto Keanu. Cal goes down, and the rest is available to bring Twilight in. And a late team kill for RunAway. Still holding on to 4 ults here.
The approach to the point versus a Pharah as well, even with the McCree, is very difficult. This is not the buffed McCree with the extra, lack of range fall off. McCree's super buffed. Played that today with yeah, it's going to be a struggle to get into this point. As you can see, Achilios has a great angle. They have the grab too. They don't even need to use it.
Yep, they just go ahead. They charge straight down. Wipe the team effectively yet again. Cal, the only one who's going to be limping away with his life still intact.
Every time they try to come in, Achilios got an angle either from the left side, as you can see where he is now, or just from inside, where the Reinhardt shield has to be angled in such a way that we're going to see Hureg take shots on the McCree. And you just have to come to the choke. Oh, this is nasty.
Deadeye coming through, looking for the shots.
Good
Not finding anything there, but grab with that. Stalks everybody in. They follow up for 2 more kills, just gaining WGS all the way back over into the spawn. You can see RunAway still playing quite far forward. Just now going to start peeling back as Bumper goes for one final
They've
fire.
got everything. They've got everything here that you could ever hope for with this composition. Arrow's going to make the switch to the Sombra here for some extra contesting power. Free Sombra rework. Here's the grab.
Down that Shatter coming in, not really going to be finding much here for Z-Bag. He'll go down. Bumper swinging to get the kill. Flashbang in onto FaZe, and yet again it looks like RunAway will just stomp out WGS on this approach. Arrow desperately trying to flip over onto that Sombra, but Oxal, he knows exactly where you're going. Takes him down, last row falls, and that should be it. 100 to 18% here as RunAway take University.
We saw some semblance of the strategy working when they were able to take the point first with the extra burst damage they had. As far as does projectile sustained damage, and she can weaken members to be then finished off by further burst or dive, depending on which comp we're talking about. In this case, it's mostly just the sustain where you win with the Pharah if you're able to get an angle. But at the beginning, they end up taking too much damage on the point. They lost Slime. He was the opening pick, and then they just couldn't retake because they didn't have any way to burst or outmaneuver. But after that, once RunAway retook the point, their same composition where Oxide was able to flank and no one could kill him, it was just one-sided from there. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, right? Now this is, I don't know if this will end up being completely real, but this is a pretty unique composition. That's 1 tank, triple DPS, with Twilight being the pseudo tank here, but more so serving as a support. Really interesting. A lot of damage here on the side of RunAway, but not a lot of sustainability.
Going for the Soldier 76 is always going to be a bit of an oddball strat. Makes sense because you have the high ground here in the center of the city, but even so, we've seen the Soldier being brought out time and time again already in Season 2, and haven't seen that much success. We'll see how Suminsu is going to manage. Cal Couple shots there on the Hureg. He's going to get a smattering of damage. Goes low, has to pick up that health back.
So Minsu's got this high ground controlled here right now. She's able to jump across, taking pot shots at Z-Bag, who has to back away FaZe as well, taking tons of damage. And Huxall is just threatening non-stop, so the tanks are taking shots from multiple angles here. They've got to be more decisive. Look at Z-Bag, he's just running left and right, doing nothing.
Oh, the Helix Rocket's going to come through, takes down Hyano. Huxall pushing forward, throws down that pulse bomb, was trying to get the fadeaway pick off here on the last round. It doesn't matter, has the pistols to go ahead and follow up. Now they'll chase it, they'll get Z-Bag mid-air. And this is just going to be another team wipe coming through as RunAway gets ready to go ahead and lock down the point here for the first time. Sominsu nearly with attack visor now.
Well, this is showing Sominsu's flexibility, the ability to play Zarya, but also run triple DPS compositions on a map where they are strong, because he's got the ability to run hit scan. And he gets up into the high ground. Z-Bag being very indecisive there. FaZe already using D-Matrix early, man, it couldn't protect him. You could just see, if you go back and watch where I was talking about it, he's running left and right, being indecisive, not sure whether he should dive in, because he doesn't know if he'll live long enough against triple DPS, or if he should retreat. It's really rough, because he doesn't have the damage follow-up there at range, because they're running Widowless here, their composition.
Missing the jump there. Twilight, in the meantime, taking down Decal off screen as Sominsu starts poking around from the side.
You could attack here if they knock the Diva out.
I think, honestly, maybe just want to hold on to it here for the moment, as they already got the initial pick, but they trade one back arrow, takes down Huxall. That Infrasight is going to expire. RunAway still holding firmly here for the moment. WGS gonna have to try to find another angle of approach. Arrow taking that headshot, but not gonna go down. Hureg weakens that McCree, but cannot get the finish now. Bumper getting jumped on. Will fall.
Here's the tag.
He's gonna use it, but you can see that's gonna be the Transcendence coming out from Blaster to go ahead and mitigate all of the damage that Sominsu would love to be layering in. Helix Rockets find a decent tag. Decal going forward. Doesn't need to use the Pulse Bomb yet. Huxall uses his own. It takes down Lastro. RunAway still in control of the point here now. It's time. Barely gets off that sound barrier in time. Manages to stay alive. Keeps everybody else in the fight for an extended period. But RunAway will be suffering heavy losses here as Bumper is by himself. Trying to leap to the side. Trying to hide, but doesn't want to use that primal rage. So we'll just go ahead and allow WGS to get the flip.
Probably would have been better to save that sound barrier, unfortunately, given the circumstances. He bought some time with it. They could have had an easy retake with it. They are going to go ahead and pop the rally at spawn as Arrow gets up here onto the high ground. He doesn't yet have that ultimate, but he will in just a moment with a few headshots, or body shots even, will do justice. Twilight going up here on the high ground now. They're trying to control Diva first.
Yeah, want the lockdown there on the face, but they can't get him. Force him out of the mech. That'll force that self-destruct and probably a less than stellar position for him. Primal Rage out from Bumper, takes down Z-Bag, jumping away there, but Arrow has the tag in the back, takes him out. Still going to be just the 1-for-1. That's RunAway tries to get the flip, but WGS are staying in. They're keeping this one contested, and the rest comes out from Hyano to bring Z-Bag back into the fight.
This is kind of reminiscent of when we saw the all-French Rogue roster play in Apex, where they're running triple DPS on Assault and usually on hybrid maps, where if you're in control, it looks really good, but when things start to fall apart, you can't be ult efficient, you don't have the extra tanking power, so your DPSs just get stomped on. And as soon as Bumper had to Primal Rage, we knew that fight was going to be over. WGS is making a really good argument with their ult efficiency here in a more standard, more meta composition, that they might actually be able to bring us to a third point here. Hureg's had some lackluster performances on the Widow again. He's had some good predictions as to where the enemy McCree will be, for example, but headshots haven't really been there.
A third point, you say? Are they going to tie it up on Oasis Wolf?
They might. All
right, well, let's see if they can do it. Sominsu, though, he's got another attack visor. Wants this one to be a bit more impactful compared to the last one. The dive immediately comes through from Z-Bag, threatens him back.
No one to peel for him.
He is just not going to get anything done. Barely shot anyone with that ultimate. Huxall forced to use the recall. Gets that sound barrier in. Stays away from his own pulse bomb where he doesn't find the kill. In the meantime, Sominsu with the Helix Rocket, 6-down arrow, and Decal's going to fall. No DPS available for the side of WGS, and Hureg's still going to be hunting for those headshots. Flip comes through just before that overtime would start ticking in. Nice little stagger here on the last throw, and Hyano. This is going to buy a lot of time for RunAway, but they don't have that many ultimates available right now.
Okay, wacky swap here of Arrow onto the Ana. Okay, I don't know what that was about. I wasn't paying attention right before that happened, so there might have been a reason, but anyways, he's back on the McCree now, heading into the point. And they are going to try to swing around the right side here. Still triple DPS, so very much a breakable comp. There's not a lot of ways to peel. As you can see, Widow having to Trying to hope for the headshots here, not
Yeah,
happening.
I was trying to get it. Oh, but now you're stuck, but the count doesn't get far enough away. He takes himself out of the fight. And just like that, WGS is just going to be suffering across the board. Hoxall following up, coming up with 2 more kills. Face is going to die for the team wipe, and RunAway will be able to close it out 100-98, a bit closer than I'm sure they would have liked, but they get the 2-0 here on Oasis.
You know, this feels like a lot of experimentation still continuing for RunAway. Their match that they had against Blossom, again, historically a weaker team. They ran Hureg and saw Minsu, struggled on their 3rd and 4th maps, went back to Achilios with their main roster, crushed it. They come in here not only with 2 subs, but Janu is subbed out for the first time in a long time. And they run the Zarya, but then run triple DPS. It's probably more so a hero pool problem than that they think that the triple DPS is going to be the new meta. They utilized it well, they knew how to play it, this was clearly well practiced, but it did have some holes, and the lack of a secondary tank, and Brigitte can somewhat fill that role, and she does have some burst heals, but again, the lack of a traditional secondary tank was how we saw WGS kind of eat through that. We saw Hureg again struggle to hit the headshots when he needed to, sometimes on the Widow. His prediction, though, of where Arrow was going to be was pretty accurate, was pretty impressive, you know, where he was always tracking, you know, what location McCrew is going to come from, always knowing every respawn. That was the cool thing I noticed about Hureg's play, is every time there was a respawn coming through, he would always go, if he had an angle, to check the spawning location to see if he could get, you know, that one shot, that headshot kill on the way back to the point.
The guy you just saw dancing in your chair is the RunAway, I was going to call him the cheerleader. That's fine, we'll call him the cheerleader. He is. Yeah. So he leads the cheer at the beginning of the maps for everybody, so that's the big boisterous voice that you're used to hearing every time RunAway takes the stage. Saw him outside earlier for the set, getting gifts and taking pictures with fans, so even he is quite popular.
Yeah, I saw him spending a lot of time with Flowervin before the match as well, so maybe working with RunAway in somewhat of a more than unofficial sense. Yeah. Not 100% sure about that, but might be the head of the fan club, because it's always...
Maybe runs on Twitter, I don't know.
Usually the person of a big fan group, like who leads the cheers, like a huge fan group, is not just someone who randomly decided to do it. It's someone who actually leads the fan club, so he actually might be like the manager of that, like officially, you know. So I don't know for sure, but looks like we're going to take a look at some fan signs here real quick as we have a substitution.
I don't understand. But all right. This guy is like his fingers like
it's a Janu
broke
fan.
Through a seashell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good
Janu
diva.
Fan sign here for Diva, yeah.
Well,
it says Java, obviously you guys can read that.
Maybe he'll come back in for the second map. We don't know. We don't know what the game plan's going to be.
I think there's a very high chance that that will occur. It says if RunAway's not going to win, who's going to win?
Well, I guess WGS. There has to be a winner. That's why we have a tiebreak on Ilios.
I guess it's more like if RunAway's not winning, who would? I don't know. It's.
I understand the sentiment. I'm just being I'm being a joke. WGS fan there.
Hammond.
Another Hammond. These have been incredibly popular as of late. Wonder when we're going to be seeing some wrecking ball coming through in competitive Overwatch.
If you lose, you die.
You die in the game.
You gotta
die
win.
In real
if
life.
You lose, you die. Very intense looking Hammond there. Very good drawing. As you know, we're seeing more and more drawings of Hammond. You do have to wonder again, as you mentioned, when Wrecking Ball will be available. See if we have a substitution here. My guess would have been yes, but again, it is WGS, World Game Star we are facing off against here. We'll have no substitution.
Okay, just getting settled on the map, and it's going to be King's Row.
So changing it up. Last time they took us to Numbani when they lost their first map against X6. This time it will be the King's Row, and that explains a lot because this is a map where Zarya is required, so Minsu can continue to play that. In terms of attack, they can still run the attack far with the Widow, with Hureg there. There will be some holes, I think, again, in their cohesion and coordination around Hureg's Widow. But the Zarya pick they can use on defense and obviously at the end on attack will work well here with the starting lineup they used.
We could see it from the start. We haven't had King's Row really so far, so we'll see how much the strategies have changed, or if it's just going to be the same good old King's Row. You think back to the Apex days, this was one of the most even maps across the board in any category. It was always so close to a 50-50 whether you're attacking or defending first. We'll see how these guys fare as we go in from map number 2, RunAway leading 1-0.
not take the Zarya defense. It will be the Widow Junkrat. Foxall on the Junkrat, of course. Suminsu has the Diva locked in, so will be forced to prove himself now on a different hero. As Arrow will probably use the translocator to get a little bit of a scout. Perhaps Hyunwoo as well, if he actually ends up sticking with that Widow pick, get some information. But I do imagine we will be seeing more traditional attacking composition coming out here, be it the Widow Hanzo or the Zarya Reinhardt to start off the point. So let's see if Hureg can outperform what we saw from him against X6, where he was a little bit lackluster, to be honest.
Shots coming through so far, not really tagging up anybody. Arrow coming in onto the point with a Sombra. Gets a couple shots in, but translocates back over into the spawn room. So just going to be seeing a swap over to the Tracer. So full dive in effect here for the side of WGS.
Yeah, not going to be trying to run multi-tank or anything like that.
Yeah, just going to be changing it up a little bit here as Hawksall starts spraying away, dropping down. Nice little safety trap in case Seabag dives in, just like that. Not going to be triggering it yet and actually destroys it. Hawksall going low, but getting spammed back up. Throws in, looking for the pick there onto Hyunwoo. Gets a smattering of damage with a satchel charge, but will not be able to get the finish. And RunAway is still sticking around to try to maintain this position, but now Decal, he is going to get the kill there onto Hawksall. Immediately gets taken down by the passive, however, and Slime has the res. So good trade up here for the side of RunAway.
Grab the tick, they're about to get two, though.
Yeah, Hureg gets a shot there onto Seabag, though. It allows them to take him out. Suminsu going to be popped out of the mech. Still moving up, looking for that second tick, but they will get shoved off the point here at the end.
This would have likely been the full take had he not died to the passive of the Junkrat, because he got in there, got the deflects off, built a ton of meter from that. He's up to 72 now. Would have been able to do so much more. Probably would have been able to pull a blade and keep them coming with a faster respawn. So very fortunate for RunAway. The Huxall's passive does get that kill.
Yep, span away here. They move into the lower ground, looking for the pick off there onto Slime, but he manages to successfully get that res in onto Bumper. But now Decal, he's got the Dragon Blade coming through, dashes in, takes out Hawksall, who's only able to trade one back. Bumper's going to fall. It's just Suminsu and Hureg left alive. Collection coming in. WGS going to start ticking up. We'll see if RunAway wants to try to delay this at all, but it seems like they might just be giving up point A.
That's just a nightmare situation for RunAway when you're stuck in that choke point. They've got the blade coming out. Decal knew that the second it was ready, he needed to pull it because Slime was his primary target. Despite his best efforts to stay alive, it was taken out in the end by Arrow. And they were doing so much damage, not only with the Dragon Blade in that choke point with the AoE, but also his dash damage. It was just a wipe there. They already had the ticks. So very well done here. WGS with a great time make on King's Row now.
Yep. Suminsu going low, manages to stay alive. Riptire's ready. Hawksall jumping up to the top, spots a Winston. Drops a trap. We'll see what angle he wants to use to get this Riptire through. Or if he's just going to hold it for the moment. No, already goes ahead, draws this one out, but it's been spotted. Down to about half HP. Looking for something, but not going to be able to find it. FaZe takes it out.
So it's looking like a really weak position for RunAway now. Bumper will make the Reinhardt switch. And Hawksall with no ultimate here and no angle to do damage. This composition starts to look like it's falling apart. We may need to see a swap. Hureg's obviously already
Bumper's just completely isolated here. Arrow with a pretty big whiff there on that pulse bomb stick, but might not matter. Follows up with the kill there onto the Baby Diva. The self-destruct from Suminsu, able to get rid of Hyunwoo. We can't make it back in. And now another Dragon Blade coming down, but the Transcendence is out from Twilight, trying to mitigate it. No, actually, I was looking at Lostros, my bad, misread. And a caster coming through, but Decal able to clean up a much better Dragon Blade this time around. Does get some kills in, not just going to be the reset dashes.
You weren't incorrect. The Twilight, or Transcendence.
Oh, it was burned.
I cast a lot of games. The Transcendence actually just ran out, right?
I thought it was right on top of him, so yeah. Big just misread.
He basically knew that that was fading away, and so he committed. As Twilight's Transcendence ran out, he got the kill there, blew him up. RunAway in some serious trouble. I mean, this is not the stalwart defense we've seen from this team on this map for, over a year. Okay, well, Hawksall over onto the Brigida is just going to get stomped out. They jump forward, they take him out. Suminsu trying to flop back over onto that Zarya. Also going to fall. Bumper able to alleviate some pressure with that fire strike, and they get the pop out there on the face and take him down. A wrestle brings Suminsu back into the fight. RunAway can try to command the cart here, but it's just a couple meters away from finishing onto B. WGS still just going to be sticking with the same comp for the moment. Nope, Decal swap over onto that Pharah. Yeah, they have to swap to deal with the Reinhardt Zarya. Unless they're going to match it, they just simply have to try to outmaneuver it using the Pharah pick. This is where Hureg comes in, having line of sight here through that window, and we'll probably see a switch from Hoxel off of the Brigida as well. It's no longer useful here, unless he wants to get one rally off of it. That will be quite helpful, even against the Pharah. Looks like he's going to be sticking with it for now, perhaps until he dies or until he gets that rally. The burst heal's very useful against the Pharah and Widow, that combination that's so difficult to deal with, but they have successfully halted WGS finally here for now, because the Pharah just hasn't been able to do massive damage. Here's their chance.
Well, trying to poke him out, and that's going to be Hureg going down, so now the threat of getting that Pharah out of the sky is effectively gone as the Hanzo falls. Suminsu also going to be dying. Hoxel trying to stay alive. Makes his way back. It's going to be the Transcendence out from Twilight. Got it this time. Does help keep them alive, and in this fight, as RunAway keep trying to maintaining control here, but Twilight's going to die, and now Lastro has his own Transcendence coming out. Or back in, just trying to keep Bumper alive, but he cannot do it. There's just so many members of WGS around. The Reinhardt will crumble under the pressure. Z-Bag going low, pops that primal range just to stick through. It's going to be 2.5 minutes on the clock as WGS complete onto B. Now looking for the finish on King's Row.
The second that they got the angle with the Pharah, the entire defense of RunAway crumbled. Hoxel only just now gets his rally. He will definitely want to use that ASAPly and probably make a switch. He even switches before using it. That's how desperate they are. But the Brigida pick, as I mentioned earlier, did nothing for them. Nothing at all except a little bit of passive AoE healing. He switched to the Genji before even using the rally. They want to get this comp ready. He wants to get a blade ready. Going back to comfort picks here, but Decal's got a great angle, and that Genji isn't going to do much against the Pharah, unfortunately, here for RunAway.
Yeah, needs to get that blade up very swiftly. You can see, though, it's still going to be a while until we have that one coming through. It's just 20% at the moment here, but Hureg, oh baby, let's just come up with the 3K. Takes down both healers, finds a kill onto Arrow as well. And now he's got that Dragon Strike ready to go, and there's a Graviton Surge.
The threat of the grab strike is the scariest thing right now for WGS. Hoxel does get picked off here. I don't think Slime is in position for a Resi.
Hello!
With the Shatter.
All right, it's just going to be the one man, and actually Bumper's going to go down. They don't even finish him off. They can't get the kill on the last throw. Oh, boy.
That was a huge misplay.
That was awful.
That was a huge misplay.
That was so bad for RunAway. Try to go for the play, and you can see Bumper maybe tilted off the Reinhardt and just wants to go back to the Winston. Either way, the swap's going to be coming through. Hureg's still waiting for an opportunity to throw out this Dragon Strike. We saw Suminsu go down, so hasn't been able to get the combo yet.
The squad just does not seem as coordinated with the subs in, unfortunately, and with now, you know, this combo, that's all they've really gotten to stand on here. They're going to toss it out into the wall. Here's the combo, but eaten by the D.Va.
Doesn't get a damn thing. Face roll. Something says thank you very much for that one. It was delicious. Denies it completely away, and they follow up with some kills. Suminsu, Hoxel, and Bumper all going down as Decal is still unhindered on this Pharah. Nearly has another barrage ready, but he doesn't need it. WGS will just push through after that massive deny from FaZe.
What a great play by FaZe, just calling it out right away. It's so obvious. You know, sure, he would have liked to get the Graviton itself, but it came at such a weird angle, so far away from the rest of RunAway, but still was a way. It was the best way they could grab at least the supports there. But it was in a place where FaZe was not being shot at, so he was able to fly around the corner and go, oh yeah, I know exactly what's coming. I'm just gonna grab this. Great reaction there. And WGS just outplayed RunAway in every way there on the attack. They don't finish with the greatest time make we've ever seen on King's Row. But if you're a RunAway fan, I think you should be worried about the lack of cohesion with the squad. Maybe experimentation is what RunAway is looking for here. But it definitely needs a little bit of work. It needs a little bit of oiling here, this new roster with Suminsu and Hureg, before it is just simply going to live up to what RunAway has accomplished in the past. Because it doesn't take big names. Korean esports has shown us that building super teams is not the way to win tournaments. It's building cohesion with a roster that has that talent. And we know that Hureg and Suminsu are legends of their times, especially in Apex. Hureg not so much on the Spitfire, but his, Apex Season 4 win was his legendary achievement. Suminsu on the Foxes, his Doomfist, and his hit scan as well. However, even though they're both way more storied than WGS players, WGS has been working with this roster for clearly a long time. They're well coordinated, and when you're running two separate rosters with these subs constantly being subbed in and out, whether it's in scrims or in-game, it just doesn't look as crisp. And they're a roster that always functioned on scrappy dive metas where everyone's on the same page, and it just doesn't feel like we're seeing that today. And I don't feel like we saw that with the subs in last week either.
Well, rough start, but we can see what RunAway gets done here on their attack right now. Looking at Hureg on the Hanzo with Haksal over onto that Roadhog.
Yeah, triple tank, old school style. We saw this from them in actually promotions more than anything else.
Speed boost going to be shifting over around through the hotel. Still Sonic Era up onto the high ground to spot the remaining members here as Hureg gets leapt on and FaZe just takes him down.
He was alone, but they do have the point control. WGS is going to have to make a play here. They don't have a dive tank.
They get the single tick, they're going to be waiting, it looks like, for Hureg to come back in. Try to rejoin them as Haksal just gets leapt on and taken down. Decal. Those nades able to finish him off. Even while he's taking a breather, it's not enough to help keep him alive, but Fire Strike comes out from Bumper and just gets rid of that Junkrat, and Keanu is just not in a position to try to get that res. Charge coming down, not going to be able to get it in onto that Orisa. Getting himself safe and alive here for the moment. Seaback going to drop down onto low ground, kites over to the archway. Try to have a good point of defense. RunAway in onto the point. Seaback keeping this one in contention at the moment. Self-destruct goes up. That's a barrier to block that, but now it's going to be broken. Lastro falling, however, and Bumper gets a kill onto Arrow. So WGS losing a couple members. Riptire coming through. Can he break open this point? Yes, he can. Both healers going to be going down, but the ticks are still rolling in. Second one acquired here for the side of RunAway as Haksal comes back in over onto the Pharah. Still not really finding a target at the moment. This barrier needs to go down.
Haksal, 1 health! 1 health!
Oh, Keanu tries to go in for the res. Haksal flipping to the side, takes him out, but will fall in the end.
They hold.
Monster finds that kill, and yes, they will hold this, as you say. 2:20 on this clock.
Twilight was a monster on the Moira. Without him, they would never have been able to make that positioning happen. He's going to make the switch to the Ana now. They're going to completely swap the entire squad with Haksal making that switch over, obviously, to the Pharah. So he's going to be able to do more long-range healing this way. But Decal was the MVP for WGS with Z-Bag. Stay alive forever. Look at this, knocking Bumper into the sky. He does not have any shatter targets.
Nope, just throws it down. He just says, so you know what? FaZe has been a pain in our butts. Let's go ahead and just get rid of him. Fire Strike through. Bumper going dangerously low. The barrier going to be broken just in time for that self-destruct to go off. Which means that Z-Bag is going to fall, and RunAway will be able to cap this first point. 4 minutes, 10 seconds now as they get ready to start pushing this payload through the streets.
Good execution here by RunAway, and Bumper's shatter onto FaZe ended up allowing them to do further damage, and Twilight especially was able to get big bio grenade off. He's going to stick actually with this Ana for now. It works very well with the Reinhardt, so it's not a comp that you want to run long term, but when you're already at 60% of a nano and you've got the Lucio and you're running a Pharah still, like, there's reasons to run this over the Zenyatta, at least in the short term. So I do like this a lot. He is a fantastic audit, despite the fact we don't normally get to see it. We know that. We've seen it occasionally, and every time he does pull the Ana out, it is very impressive.
Haksal knows exactly where the Winston's at. Hureg giving him that imprecise. He's going to come up in over the top. Has the sound barrier thrown in. Lastro answering with the Transcendent, so Haksal just holding onto the barrage for now. Would love to get FaZe out of that mech before he pops it, so there's no denial coming through. Find one pick off there as Lastro goes down. The cart going to keep pushing forward for the moment.
Yeah, very much a steady push right now for RunAway. WGS struggles to find a position.
Haksal finding the one shot, but Defense Matrix coming out of FaZe, denying the follow-up there onto Decal, so he'll be safe. Arrow in the meantime gets the pick off onto Twilight, taking him out.
Very difficult to use Widowmaker on defense in this position against a Pharah that just will not give you line of sight.
Oh, it's just going to do the barrage straight in, looking for Keanu, but he cannot finish him off. He just dashes to the side. They take down Haksal, and that is going to be a big botch. Now FaZe, the self-destruct, gets rid of Slime. The answering one from Summonsu comes up with nothing, and Hureg is just run down by Decal. Cart's going to be halted just shy of 5 meters away here.
Slime makes the switch to the Mercy. We'll see one more attempt with this composition. We'll see the Nano Rhine, no doubt. As you can see, is where the Observer goes to show us. It's going to be the Nano Rhine that can get him into position to use an Earth Shatter. May get nanoed after the Shatter, depending on how it all comes to be. But this is their best chance to get this with a decent time bank. 2 minutes on the clock here. And it's all about Decal getting into an angle to where he can shut this down. Otherwise, this can be very successful. Here's the Nano.
Shatter comes through. It's going to be the Nano in onto Summon. As soon as he charges forward, they get the pin in onto the wall. Pop FaZe out of the mech. Z-Bag still holding on to that Primal Rage for the moment. Barrage coming down from Decal. Does take out Haksal, but gets the answering shot in. So there's going to be a trade on those Pharahs in the end. RunAway tries to push this one through. 1.9 meters left to go as Z-Bag Has a primal rage pop. Into the back is Arrow. He's under pressure from the D.Va, but he still manages to find the headshot there on a slime. Now there's going to be no reses available.
And he gets away.
RunAway start dropping like flies. He doesn't even die. WGS trying to pull off the hold here in front of point
B. Amazing defense there. Everything looked crazy bad for WGS after Decal's death, but they turn it around. Twilight can, of course, make the switch back to the Zenyatta bumper, going back to the Winston there. But that was really good play to Nano summon Su so he could shut down Decal's barrage. That was the idea there. But RunAway dove too far. They don't have a dive comp. Bumper was playing like they were. Summon Su was playing like they were. And the rest of the DPS in the back got caught because they were trying to chase Arrow, who got a kill and then escaped, so prevented a res. RunAway is in dire straits right now. 1 win away of dropping a map to WGS. Sorry, 1 minute away from dropping a map here to WGS.
Well, they start pushing it through yet again. 29 meters away. It's rolling in. They need to get the tag. 0.1 away. Hureg has the opening shot on the Arrow, however, and FaZe is out of the mech and going dangerously low. It seems like he will be able to sustain for the moment. Hawksall going pretty far forward, gets the rocket shots in. Seaback and FaZe both going to be eliminated now. They get the completion. It's 2 minutes on the clock here for RunAway, but they have to take it all the way into point C. For them, preferably with about 42 seconds, so they can have a larger time bank than WGS. But given the defensive setups that we've seen from WGS, RunAway might not be able to get this completion.
They may not, but they do have the advantage right now. They do control this high ground. Oxal's pushed away. They're going to have D-Bag run in here. Here comes the angle, potentially for a barrage, waiting for the pop onto FaZe, though, before they use it. Twilight gets the kill onto Decal. This is a huge opportunity for RunAway to force Hawksall into position.
Good opening volley. FaZe going low. Kites his way back. Knows that he needs to have that mech. Needs that defense matrix. So he denied. Big barrage coming through, ready to come through from Hawksall.
They're splitting their spawns. They're actually dying really disjointed. This is huge for RunAway.
Yeah, FaZe actually goes down. Doesn't use that self-destruct. Resin on the Twilight. RunAway going to be 6-man strong as they push forward. 3.24 meters left to go. Hyunu gonna fall. Seaback dangerously low on his HP bar and can't even get in there. Didn't have the primal rage. Hawksall just using the barrage to try to push everybody back. They will get the completion. They have a larger time bank, but very slightly.
Yeah, that was just a choke, I think, for WGS. They started running out of spawn, not waiting for respawns when they had a long amount of distance before the cart was actually going to complete. And they all just ran in as if they were trying to prevent the completion when they were over 100 meters away. We saw several deaths there. The Mercy almost died from falling there, we saw as well. Just some really uncharacteristic mistakes there from Hyunu, and I think they panicked a little bit. They choked because this is the closest they've ever been to taking a game off of a team of this caliber. They are so close, and I think the pressure got to them there. There's still a chance they could win it. As you say, they have the slightly smaller time bank, but for RunAway, they win it. They get kind of a free win there. It was almost passive. They just walked it in because they were being fed kills left and right. But I think there's definitely a lot more nerves on the side of RunAway right now than there is for WGS. They know they've got a shot at this. They did not get the completion hold on C. They have this extra round, and they absolutely could win this game right now. I mean, this is feasible, and this is the closest they've ever been. What a thing to say that we're looking at a map where WGS looks to be, in a lot of ways, the stronger team, and they may defeat RunAway on King's Row of all maps. No tricks, no cheese, just straight up solid play.
Arrow yet again going to be spotting. The Sombra gets in onto the point, and actually he's just going to stick with it for a little bit. Yeah, but as soon as he sees that drop down, we'll leap back. So dive yet again. WGS is going to be looking to run this. See Tracer and Genji comes through.
Hureg playing very far back here, but getting a lot of damage done.
Shots coming in. He's going to go low, has to jump over to the side to get that Orb of Harmony coming through.
Okay, here's the dive. Oh, nice
move. To the top, but the deny comes in from Summon Su, pushing him back, and Hawksall takes down Arrow. Wonderful play from him.
Classy.
And that is just going to stop this right in its tracks. Summon Su.
That was
beautifully
so well
done.
So classy right there. Perfectly timed. Just shuts him down. Something we normally see on Anubis.
Oh, and the delay. It's 8 seconds left, and Lastro gets taken down.
They're going to make a last-minute switch to the quad tank to win the longer fight. Maybe grab a tick here. That's all they're hoping for. FaZe leading the charge. He's got the bubble, but this is their last shot. It doesn't look good.
Absolutely anything. FaZe is getting ripped apart, though. He'll go down out of the mech, and Hawksall has a satchel charge there to get rid of Seabag. Yano dead. WGS just suffering heavy losses here. They just can't get it done. Bumper squared up right there on the point. But
it's not
man,
over yet.
That stagger onto Lastro was great, but all of that was off the back of Summon Su.
Yeah, knocking
with that
Z-Bag, so he couldn't get on the high ground there. That's how they dismantled RunAway's defense the previous time with Decal on the Genji, where he came in and he died to Huxell's passive previously, but he was hoping for this time for it to go a little bit differently. Well, you can actually trade out against an Orisa up there on the high ground with that defensive setup if your Winston doesn't make it onto the point. And it's not a mistake from Z-Bag, it's, as you pointed out several times, an amazing play by Summon Su, flexing over to the Diva today, clearly practiced on it. But it's not over yet.
Yeah.
WGS can look for a draw now if they're able to full hold this first tick. And they've had a solid defense so far. Again, I feel like there's a little bit of choke going on, though. I feel like WGS is feeling the pressure, not playing as crisply as they were just moments ago.
Well, not much time on the clock, just going to be 1:21 here.
Decal showing the Doom Fist.
Interesting. This would be unexpected.
This certainly would be. They might expect to see Huxell on the Genji. Might be trying to use it for that, or perhaps a triple tank. He works well against both, especially if he can get into the back line, but he can shut down very quickly a Reinhardt.
Well, this is going to be a solo support here from Twilight Slime right now, looking for an opening shot, maybe? No? Okay. Just spotting.
Yeah, he did this last time as well. Just take a peek and then switch back.
I was excited for it, man. I thought we were going to have it.
Yeah, no, I know everyone's hyped every time RunAway is trying to say triple DPS is the thing, but we know it's not true. All right, hiding this Doomfist super hard, but they need to get on the point.
Already the shots coming through. That's just going to be Lastro chewed up. The shotgun blast coming in from Huxell. He'll take a breather. Already a third of the way to his ultimate, and 3 people dead on the side of WGS. RunAway just looking to close this one out very cleanly. In the end, was rough on the approach, getting it all the way to point C, but 1 tick going to come down. RunAway will be stopping the hopes of WGS so far as they move up 2-0 in this series. No jazz hands for you guys. No win for WGS.
Hasn't been a one-sided series like most would have predicted, but RunAway is still the stronger team here. I feel like this is going to be a moment where, of course, we're about to run to a short break, but the coach from WGS is not going to be happy with the decisions that were made, especially on the point C defense there on King's Row. Then the I just want to be honest, very gimmicky Doomfist defense they ran instead of trying to run standard, which had great success against RunAway just earlier, where they, held and bought time. I think the players that are mostly rookies, we're looking at Lastro, Decal, FaZe. These players are rookies. Z-Bag's got some experience. Yanu's the most experienced player on this roster. Even Arrow barely played last season. It's a squad of rookies that I think choked and panicked real hard when they got the closest they've ever been to touching the sun. Defeating RunAway would have been a dream for them on King's Row of all maps, but it does not come true, not tonight. See the assistant coach come in there, giving Lastro a little bit of a shake. It was a rough last 2 points there, the defense in extra rounds and the C, where they were just not playing as well. And
yeah,
I don't want to take anything away from RunAway, especially Summon Su there on the boop for the Winston when the dive came through. That was, again, classy. That was well done. It was like so, it almost felt subtle. He was just like, no, I'm sorry.
It was great. Yeah, just get out of here. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, stop that, cut it out.
I really respect you, but like, you can't come up here.
It was great. But yeah, I mean, the big question here though is that obviously RunAway still struggling there on King's Row. It was not the cleanest at all. Getting to B was an absolute nightmare for them. There were some very questionable plays that were made.
Bumper Shatter was like, dude, you're already losing the fight. You can't, just because you're in a good position doesn't mean you throw this Shatter down in this moment.
Yeah, and they didn't even get the kill. He locked down his Zenyatta. Couldn't kill him. It was rough. But that's the question that I'm posing now is, do we see player swaps coming in despite the fact that they got the win on King's Row? For Assault, do you bring Stitch back into this roster?
That's the question we'll have the answer to, I guess, after this break, Achilios.
Yep, 3 minutes, guys. We'll be back in just a few, so don't go anywhere.